What up, G-Life? It's your boy MC Shadow back at you with another video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, check out the playlist where I have all the videos, and then photos make the video looking for a lot easier. Now, what I wanted to talk about was, like the title says, do gang members brainwash kids? Now, let me explain how growing up it is, you know, with gang members and stuff like that. And now, I could only tell it how it is. I'm not here to try to convince you. You could believe what you want. You know, just like in the other video, I got people that are in the comments that just don't understand, and I don't expect them to understand. I'm not here to try to convince people. I'm here to tell you how it is and exactly how it goes. Believe it or not, I don't really care. To be honest with you, you could believe what you want. It doesn't change anything, and then I can sleep at night. You know what I mean? Now, and I understand people be like, oh, well, maybe that's how your hood was run, but not all hoods run the same. Who are you to speak for every... First of all, I hang out, and I know a lot of homies from a gang of barrios. You know what I mean? And not just Hispanic. Believe it or not, I've been around. I got pictures on my channel. You can see, you know, hanging around with homies from all kinds of barrios. You know, from V&E, Wyfins, Florence. I got videos, my boy. I got pictures, homie, with vatos and everything, homie. So motherfuckers can't even say, nah, that's not true. I know a lot of homies from a lot of different sets. Not only that, if you look at the comments, you'll never find a homie from an actual barrio that's on there like disagreeing with what I'm saying. I mean, they might disagree with some points of views here and there, but overall, they get what I'm saying. It's always the homies it's always the gente that's not gang related or has no gang affiliation, the ones that are in the comments saying that's not true. Like, yes, because you're gonna know how the gangster life is, huh? I know the truth hurts. I know it's nothing like how you've seen in movies, TV shows, and documentaries. I know. And you're mad because you've been lied to, and you don't want to accept that. You don't want to accept that they tricked you. I get it. The mainstream media is really good. You know? I'm not blaming you for being, you know, lied to and believing it. I mean, that was the plan. And I could understand from their point of view why they would want to paint it like that. But like I said, I'm never here. I can't run with lies. Now, if there's one thing, now, these people think that we trick kids into getting into gangs. Have you, okay, people seen the movie Colors, right? And if you haven't, go see it. You know when Frog's brother wants to get into the hood, and he's like, nah. And then when he gets into the hood, he tells him, you fucked up. That's exactly what goes down. We're not promised women. We're not promised guns, cars, power. We're not promised none of that. We're not promised shit. We're told we're going to get smoked. We're told we fucked up. We're fucking up. We're told all of this shit. We're not told that we're going to get women and power and money and that this is the best life. We're told none of that. We're told the opposite of that. And guess what? We still become from the gang. I know it's hard to believe. People will be like, well, if you're not promised nothing, then how could you still possibly make the choice? You don't understand. That's the problem. You'll never understand. It makes no sense to you. Because I can't explain the emotions to you. You have to feel the emotions. You get nothing out of the explanation of the emotions. You get what I'm saying? That's why it's hard for you to wrap your head around it. And now, why is a common theme pushed that we are lied to? It's pushed by the mainstream media, and it's also pushed by the family members of gang members themselves. Because, see, here's the thing. They must have been lied to. They must have. They must have been tricked. Because if they're not, then that means that like, what were the parents doing? You know what I mean? Like, why weren't you taking care of your kid? You get what I'm saying? It's like, you know, what were you doing? You know what I mean? So it's like now having to own up and take responsibilities for your actions. Even if it wasn't intentional, still having to answer this question and you know, being looked upon as this bad parent or something of that nature. So the fact that they don't want to deal with none of that or accept none of that is the reason why this lie must be created, that it must be something else. See, a lot of people have a hard time accepting their mistakes, accepting their errors. You get what I'm saying? Even gang members, when they're younger, have a hard time doing that. You know, till now, till they're older, some of them, it's hard for them to accept that they've been fucking up. You get what I mean? It's our own ego, our pride. We don't want it to take a blow. That's why the people argue in the comments and don't want to see what I'm saying, because they don't want to believe that they believe the lie and that they could have possibly been tricked. No, they're too smart for that. You get what I'm saying? It's people's egos and pride that doesn't allow them to see, because there's a thin line between ego and pride, a very, very thin line. You could say, is it being prideful or is it being egotistical? It's kind of like, it's hard to separate what's the difference between weird and unique. Because it's different from the norm. Is it weird or is it unique? So you get what I'm saying? Same with ego and same with pride. So we're never lied to. We never brainwash. We never promise kids in anything. And a few movies do an actual good job at touching in on that, like the movie Colors. That's actually one of the things that they got right, with the brother. And another one is Blood In, Blood Out, when Crucito and El Gallo Negro's little brother, trying to stick around and see what's up, and they're like, get the hell out of here, and go over there, you know what I mean, and don't tell him nothing, and they keep him in the outs, they keep everything hidden from him. And guess what? The fact that they kept him in the hidden, everything hidden from him and everything like that, his curiosity got the best of him, stick that needle in him, and the kid ended up dying, and all because the brothers refused to sit down and actually tell him what's up. Instead, they thought that keeping it all a secret was going to keep him safe, and now they realized that it backfired. It didn't keep him safe because his curiosity got the best of him. Well, hey, what the hell do I know? What do people know, with these messages that they try to give? People don't want to accept them, because then it goes back to what I'm saying, that there must be something going wrong in the household, and people don't want to accept that. Of course, families are not going to want to see that. No, you're not going to blame my mom, or you're not going to blame, our family. No, it has to be you guys, not us, because we're not from gangs, so therefore we can't be the bad guys. It has to be you guys. Yes, because if you're not a gang means that you're a perfect individual, means you make no mistakes. Just because you go to church means that you must commit no errors, and there must be no hatred or deceitment in you. How many priests have been arrested for molestation and everything like that? How many people that have gone to church have been arrested and convicted for murders, including serial killers like the BTK killer? Just because you go to church, just because you're not a gang member, doesn't mean anything. You could be still... All serial killers were not gang members. All molesters are not gang members. People that beat on their wives, look at... What about all of them people? They're not gang... They have no gang ties to them, so what's the fault there? I guarantee you, a lot of the problems of the world due to behaviors, prostitution, gambling, alcohol, being an alcoholic, being domestic violence, murder, kleptomaniac, all of that has to do because there was a rift in the adolescence when he was growing up. That's why this behavior is being, displayed. See, in those areas they home in on the family because gangs don't exist, right? So now they home in on the family. Here they never home in on the family because gangs are present, and since gangs are already looked upon as bad people, that's why they choose to concentrate on them instead of concentrating on what's the actual problem. That's why this problem doesn't get fixed. They keep removing gang members. They clean up the streets. Gentrification happens. Rents go up. And guess what? Graffiti's still on the wall. People still standing on corners. Gangs are still here. Even though the rents have gone up, they fucking transformed the whole entire area. There's still murder, criminal activity, drugs, and everything happening. Because that has nothing to do with the area, nor gang members, nor none of that. An area could look nice. Doesn't mean shit. You don't know what happens once those doors close. In pictures, they may look like a decent family. When they're out shopping, it may look like a perfect family and everything like that. But when the door is closed, you do not know what happens in that house. To say, what's up with this kid, man? He has everything. His kid's a nice, they live in a nice area. They have it all. Like, what the fuck is he mad about? What is he upset about? Shit, I wish I had a life like that. Yes, because you've been stuck in poverty so long that money and all of this is going to fix each and every one of your problems because you feel like the problem is the income when it's not. You know what I mean? All these rich families and all these celebrities that have committed suicide, and these rich families that their kids are alcoholics or drug addicts or all of that, proves what I'm talking about. Money is not going to fix the scenario nor the problem. moving. You see how people move from area to area, right? They move their family to Atlanta, they move their family to Texas. And guess what? Then the gangs start over there. Why? They took their kid out of that environment. Why is their kid still behaving this way? Because you want to blame the area. You want to blame these gang members when it's not them. That's why your kid was able to start the gang over there. And he was still displaying those behaviors. Because it's not his friends. But you don't want to look in the mirror. And people don't want to look in the mirror. Because how dare you say it's our fault? You just don't want to accept that you've been messing up and it's your guys' fault because you're a gang member. Yes, that's what it is. If that was the case, then my kids would be gang members. And every homeboy's kids would be gang members. Because that's what we want, right? According to you. The ignorance in individuals. People, we do not brainwash individuals. See, when homies are posted on the block, it's not the OGs. It's, more than not, it's the younger crowd. The younger crowd doesn't even have the patience nor the character to be trying to brainwash a kid. And be like, nah, if he wants to come, he'll fucking come. If he wants to get in, he'll get in. I ain't gonna be trying to convince him. Homie, I don't got time to be convincing nobody to get into the hood. Hey, homie, if he wants to get in, he'll get in. If he doesn't want to get in, I ain't gonna be trying to convince that motherfucker. That's how they see it. They don't got time for that. They ain't trying to do all that. I ain't trying to fucking... hey, if you join our hood, you get this great benefit package. You get this complimentary ice pop. You know what I mean? You get this bag of peanuts. Every month we have croquade. No, we are not doing none of that, bro. We ain't got time for none of that shit. If they want to get in, they'll get in. They don't, then they don't. Just be right there trying to convince people. You know what I mean? We ain't trying to convince nobody for nothing. I mean, if you're trying to convince somebody to get into the hood, means that he really isn't, trying to be with that action. So why the fuck are you going to try to recruit him for? Trying to recruit somebody that's not even with it or that wasn't nothing to do with his life. He'll snitch, he'll break, he'll crack. And why would you want individuals like that around? If they come willingly, then they accept all of this shit, so you could leave your trust in him. We're trying to convince somebody, dog, you're already starting off bad. You know what I mean? We ain't got time to try to be convincing anybody of nothing. We don't brainwash nobody, you know what I mean? We don't lie to these kids. We don't tell nothing to these kids. I was never promised anything, and I was never told nothing. And all the homies that got in, that I jumped in and all of that, I never promised them a goddamn thing. And when my homies jump in, little homies, I'm right there. They never promised them a damn thing. And I have seen other homies do the same with their neighborhoods. They don't promise them motherfuckers anything or try to brainwash them or none of that. We're never promised anything except death and that we're fucking up. But we're like, homie's tripping. He don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, because, at that age, we think that we know what's up. Yeah, when we don't know a damn thing, we're fools. The kid is already damaged when he's coming. Before the kid met the gang members and before the kid seen the gangs and before he noticed anything, the kid was already damaged. The kid already had felt a lot of problems in him. He was already thinking a whole lot and he was already feeling a whole lot. Before these guys came. When he came and he started seeing them and everything like that, he finally felt like he could relate to somebody and relate to something and finally something, that catches his eye, you know what I mean, to keep his mind busy from what's actually happening, from those thoughts. And then he's right there, he's hearing these homies talk and he's like, yeah, man, these fools understand what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, man, my parents don't pay attention to me either, homie. Yeah, everybody always saying that I'm a fuck. Yeah, you're right. So he feels like he belongs. Why? Because they're speaking the truth. And it's sad that he could relate to the truth, can he? That's the sadder part about it. People want these people to lie to people instead of speaking the truth. The fact that you have to lie to hide the truth is a very, very sad thing. And a very scary one, too. I was seeing something that somebody said that's very interesting, that before somebody becomes a parent, they feel like they need to take parenting class in order to be able to have a child. And as stupid as that sounds, I can't blame the individual for saying that, and I can't blame the individual for actually, having that idea, because even though it's a stupid idea, shit, I think it's true. At least I think there's some truth to that. I think people do need to have parenting classes. I think people need to realize that being a parent is a lot more difficult than what people think. I think people need to realize how much damage could neglection or just saying and doing stupid shit and not explaining shit to your kids, how much damage that actually really does to an individual. See, other individuals that have no gang ties and are raised with a perfect family will never understand that. But they could say that, oh, well, there's people that have problems. They could have learned from another person. They could have, yes, there's so many what if scenarios because you are just trying to find something because you can't relate and you don't want to feel like there's any reason to it. So you're just looking for shit. You're spitballing. That's because it's hard for you to grab your mind around this. Yes, we all wish we grew up like you, my boy. It must have been nice. You're lucky. Congratulations. Gloat. You have every right to. I'm just saying. And shut up, we are.